All right, man. We back in live in full effect for another episode of the APF podcast, episode 171. It is the most phenomenal man that has shocked the system, aka the coach.
It's your boy going forward. Hope you guys have had a good weekend. The work week's about to start again. We got a couple topics to get into. Let's get right into it.
I think somebody else want to see you.
Okay, I'm back. Ugh.
Hmm. Okay, so first things first. You gotta talk about these playoffs. After everything has been concluded, my
Yeah,
team's on the TW, but
yeah, but they play out. They a playing team. That's what these. They've played like a playing team all year long. That's what they deserve to be, of course.
well, y'all got lucky. That's all I gotta say.
When you're
Uh,
the world champions, it's not luck; it's preparation.
Same thing for my team, but we not going to speak on
Yeah,
that.
man. What did we say, Club?
But you dig. So let's see. Mm,
So I'm on the NBA.com. I already got the play-in tournament picture with all the playoffs as they currently are. So we obviously so due to everything that happened today, Oklahoma City winning, New Orleans losing, Minnesota losing, winning, and Rudy Gobert trying to knock his teammate out, the Lakers winning,
yeah,
and the Clippers
he's
winning.
wild. He's wild for that one.
I mean, Kyle Anderson is about that life. He better be careful. He will need to be a lot more careful to deal with. So the playing tournaments are set. You got New Orleans versus Oklahoma City. That's going to be the second game on Wednesday. The first game on the Western side on Tuesday will be the Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is
We
going to be
we
very.
slapping them easily.
I
We
don't know
slapping them.
about easily slapping them. Your team isn't the best shooting team. Plus, yeah, I had a tough time with Utah this today. Anthony Davis wasn't amazing, as usual. When LeBron comes back, 80 turns right back into not good AD. 18, 20 points, 9, 10 rebounds. Like he should do a lot more, but that's what Anthony Davis does. So let me see here.
Bro, we getting clapped. We just getting clapped. You not like that.
Well, look. I don't know who's anybody's clapping who. So I just want to look at today's game. Anthony Davis, 16 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists. I mean, the Lakers obviously, if you're going to have like 6, 7 guys in double figures, you're going to win a lot of games. But I do think going up against a team in Minnesota with Andy Edwards, now with Carnathy Towns and possibly Rudy Gobert, depending on if they want to suspend him or not. If they had their full team, Jared Vanderbilt, I would say, look, this could be a tough matchup defensively. Jared Vanderbilt is very important. Anthony Edwards can, he's the best player. He can get whatever shot he wants, really. And Carthy Towns is going to have to be a little bit more dominant inside the post. But with Jared Vanderbilt getting hurt, literally punching himself out of the playoffs by punching his hand on the wall and fracturing his hand, I mean, that's a big loss. Rudy Gobert may get suspended for that Lakers game. That's another big loss defensively. So defensively, the Lakers could have their way. LeBron James could have a easy lane to the freaking basket. Like that is the first thing I see. And then also Anthony Davis could have an easy work at the basket going against Towns or Nas Reed. That's what I can see first. And I know that perimeter defense of the Minnesota Timberwolves isn't particularly good. Anthony Edwards doesn't try. as much as I would like him to. And Mike Conley's older now. He still tries hard as he can.
I
And
mean,
Conte,
Edwards, he got some time though, so
I
you
mean,
know.
look, when he wants to, he can, and that's why I'm always disappointed in these players because I think if he was a better defender, the team would be a better overall defensive team. Because the best defensive teams, like a Boston, like a Milwaukee, have multiple perimeter guards that can guard, keep guys in there, can deny one or two moves to get past them, and that's all you really need in today's basketball is to be able to at least try to stop a dribble guy from getting in. That's why, as we all know about, we're talking about later Dallas Mavericks, why they were so bad is because their guards, their perimeter defense was so atrocious that they allowed open threes and allowed rims lanes to the basket. So that's another thing with Minnesota that's going to be an issue. D'Angelo Russell's playing well, and LeBron, Anthony Davis is just there because that's all he does. Austin Reeves is playing well. Malik Beasley, they are a good basketball team. They can shoot the three. They have two or three guys who can take the basket, which Reeves, LeBron, and D'Angelo Russell can get to the basket, get fouls. And in the NBA, in the playoffs, that's what you need. You need guys who can get their own baskets. And they have it, mostly. So I'm always wondering how good Minnesota's going to be getting their own baskets. I mean, they basically got Anthony Edwards. They're going to have to work a lot of pick and roll, a lot of, pin downs and screens to try and get, Carl Anthony Towns some threes. Carl Anthony Towns is going to have to work in the post some. He's going to just have to
No, he's on.
scores.
I feel like he's gonna have to get out of his like comfort zone and step up.
Yeah, he's going to have to. Um, for me, I'm taking the Lakers because I think they have too much talent. They're the better defensive team. They have more offensive options. They have more guys who can get in the paint and throw out for threes and kick out for threes with Russell and LeBron. And even Austin Reeves to an effect. The pick and roll offense is very, very deadly. And, if Anthony Davis is going off, it's just going to make it so much easier with Malik Beasley, with what's it called? Who's the number two on their team? Is it Vanderbilt or somebody? Jalen
Well,
McDaniels is the guy who got hurt on. I'm sorry, who's the one who punched his hand in the Timberwolves? Vanderbilt's on.
he punched his hand.
Yeah, he literally punched his hand on the wall and fractured his hand. So he's gone for the playoffs. Um,
What a dummy!
yeah, so that was weird. Um, I think the Lakers are gonna win because offensively they're too strong, and defensively they can get more stops. And in basketball, who can get more stops is gonna win basketball games. Honestly, so I'm gonna give.
Well, looks like his mic got plugged out. Oh,
All right, I guess I'm
okay.
back.
Oh, did you plug your mic out by accident?
I guess I did. Let me plug it back in. All right. I don't know. I plugged it back in. I guess it was by accident. As I was looking. But you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's your. Yeah, I'm done with that game. So on to you and your predictions for maybe what will happen.
I mean, I feel like that we're gonna take the W because we just have. I feel like we just have a better overall team, and we are together. We're not fighting, and even through all of the trials and tribulations that we have had throughout the season, losing our best player, we still are together. And overall, I think we got the edge more than Minnesota. Minnesota right now, they have two of their top players fighting. We don't. And hey, who's to say that's probably enough to to take the W. For that, I mean, I don't really gotta say too much because obviously from a box standpoint, I think we're the better team because we obviously have the better record. But we that team has no egos. This team clearly has some egos. So I just want to see what's going to happen. Are they going to put those egos aside, or are we just going to prove that we're just the better team?
I mean, the
But
Lakers are a better team because they just have their team is built better. Like, they have multiple big. They signed Tristan Thompson. You signed that Jigaboo, so
who
he's on your team now. The Lakers.
the fuck?
Yeah, they signed Tristan Thompson today. He just
Oh
got
Lord!
back with Khloe Kardashian, living close to her, and the
Oh
LeBron's
my
like, "Hey,
God!
let's get
No,
Tristan."
man! No, not no. Lord, all you
Don't be
need to do
mad.
is rebound, please.
He don't. I don't even think he's going to really play at all. Personally, I just think he's in case they have some
What the
injuries.
hell?
That's really what he's there for. Like I wouldn't think much of him. He's just there for depth and possibility. You know,
We
very
got
very
Udonis
very.
Haslam on our team. That's crazy.
I when
I'm talking about
Dallas
Tristan
Haslam.
Thompson. He's like,
Can he even get 24? Dallas Haslam made 2 threes today. That was crazy. I
I
was
mean,
like,
he's
wow.
it's his last game, so he's like
I
this is his last regular
I
season
know,
game, so he's like, I'm gonna go out with a bang.
but like, I'm just saying, it's pretty impressive to make them 2 threes and to lob and all that. I mean, I know he had a 5-year rest, but damn, he out here really killing it. Won't even.
Bro out here
Won't
catching
even
lobs. I was like, what? I was like, huh?
I said,
Why he didn't do
whoa.
this before?
Hey, you see him? He out here making threes. He doing everything now.
Yeah, I
It's
was like, why
crazy.
he ain't doing this before? What is this? It's
I mean,
crazy.
I did always make fun of like, why is this guy on on teams or whatever or what, but it was pretty cool to watch him like have one more awesome kind of thing, and who knows, he may have the record for most points scored by a 42-year-old because I don't think LeBron's been playing in 4 years, so I'll say this, he'll have one record that's gonna be hard to break. Gonna be
Oh,
hard to break.
I mean, I mean, if LeBron actually like, if
Man,
LeBron
four
actually
more
played until he's
years.
42, then
Sure, but that's a
goddamn.
long ways from now, man. That's 4 years. I mean, LeBron, 4 years playing in the NBA. I don't know about all
I
that,
mean,
but
it wouldn't surprise me because he's doing all this. He's spending all his money on himself, trying to
I mean,
trying to
you,
re,
you know,
trying to like reinvent himself in a
yeah,
by spending his money. So
yeah, but don't. My question is, like he's only there to play with his sons, right? And so if he gets to play with his sons, he really won't have to want to really play that long. Personally, that's just my opinion, at least. Like, do you really think he's going to play that many years? Especially if his sons
personally,
are.
I don't think he is, but who knows?
I mean, if he gets to before he's 42, his sons will both be in NBA, and then if he gets to play with both of them, I think he'll call it a career. I mean, at some point he's going to have to. He can still be really good, but at some point you have to call it a career, just because you know eventually your wife does want you at home. I don't care how much your wife loves you. See, up in the top. Look. So, anyways, let's go on to next game. That's
So we have the New Orleans and OKC.
Uh-huh.
Now this one is a kind of a toss up for me. I think that, but I'm gonna go ahead with I'm gonna pick OKC. Yeah.
When you look at OKC, you got Shea Gilgis Alexander, the best player on the court. I just think with them, defensively they're not great. They foul a lot. They don't stay in front of their man. Their best defender is Dort. And so I'm just wondering, can Brandon Ingram score what he's scoring? And CJ McCollum's going to be the X factor because CJ McCollum's going to be the third best player on the court. He's another creator. That's what I will say. Oklahoma City has basically Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's it. As much as people like Giddey, he does not create. Josh Giddey does not create. He really can't shoot. He's really just kind of a pass first guy, which is fine. Fine to be a pass first guy. I'm just saying, in the playoffs, you're gonna need a lot. You're gonna need more scoring. And I remember watching him play the Warriors, and I was like, it was Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and then some random dude who kept going 1-on-1. Like Josh Giddey is like he's like a secondary player. I'm not saying he's to score like 25 points, but I like him to be a little bit more aggressive in getting his own shot because he's a 6'7" guy. I mean, he's as tall as Luka Doncic. And so, but that's just not how he plays. Sometimes with basketball, it's very simple. Who's the team with the more offensively skilled team? And New Orleans has two, and they have one. And they have Trey Murphy, who's had 30 points in a decent amount of games over the last month or so. Obviously, they got Larry Nance. I think Larry Nance is on. Yeah, Larry Nance is there. Joe Val, you can throw it in deep to Joe Val. The Oklahoma City doesn't have a real big that can be physical, so he could dominate a little bit. I think New Orleans is overall a better made team, offensively and defensively. And the only reason I can see OKC winning is Shea Gilgeous getting his season average and somebody else coming with him, or two or three guys.
That's what I'm thinking because New Orleans has all this talent. Yes, they do, but we've seen that all this talent can also be wasted talent in games, not overall because you never know. Those top players that you got may not be on the A game, and they captain to both sides. So that's
Yeah,
all comes down. It all comes down to who's on their A game. Can New Orleans, with all that talent they have, actually beat OKC? Which they should. New Orleans should beat OKC, but I I feel that Shea is just gonna carry. He's gonna carry and
yeah,
have like Josh Giddey help him out a little bit, and then take the W. That's what I'm
yeah. If
feeling.
if we look at today, could always I watched them a couple times, but they're on that league pass. They're on that league pass time, and you didn't even know they existed. Um, because they had like fucking 80, like 70 games or plus or whatever. Like, do we think Terrence Mann is going to give you 24, 12, and 12? You know, this game probably doesn't matter. They played fucking nobody that day. Um, today. Well, what was the last game they actually played players? So yeah, let's go to Thursday. You look at them like some dude, well, whoever is Wiggins, like Josh Giddey 17, 8 and 8. You know, Dario Saric, 14 and 10. Jay Williams, Jalen Williams. Like these guys, those are guys that he needs to come help him. Because Shea just only got 22 points, but they won that game because he had four or five guys in double figures. And that's what he's going to need. He's going to need like at least two or three guys who can give him like 10 points or more, as well as them playing very good defense. They won the game. They only shot 40% from the field, 33% from three, but they did play good defense on the Jazz. The Jazz only made 5 3-pointers out of 31 shots. The Jazz outshot them, and also they made 10 more free throws and stuff like that. Once you look at the rest of the game, you see why they won. But that's what I'm talking about with OKC. Is you're going to need 3 or 4 guys to help Shea Gilgeous, or you're not going to score enough points. And so, because they're not the best defensive team generally, that was a pretty out of their experience with the way they played defense that day. But I will say I really do hope that they do win this game because I love that they're going to be able to feel some level of playoff competition because that's what young teams need. Like I don't like it. I don't like teams who are like keep losing every year. Like you're losing like fucking Orlando and Detroit, like losing 6.
Those teams will forever be losers for the next 5 years.
Yeah, like Victor comes to one of these. Whoever gets number pick gets Victor. Like I really pray to God that he goes to like at least like who's like the who's like San. I don't know. San Antonio is the worst place for him to go because I really would hate it for him to go to like Popovich. Popovich to like beat the fun out of him. But I mean, I just hope he goes to any team other than San Antonio. That's all I want. Like no, like I don't want him to go to Charlotte. I'm sorry, I don't want him to go to Charlotte because all Charlotte does is lose, and he doesn't need to deal with wife beating Bridges and Lamelo scrawny ball. He needs to go to a real team. I would like him. I like to pair him up with Banchero. Banchero was really good this year, 20-7. He was really good, man. That would be a nice thing there, anyways. But I'm picking New Orleans because New Orleans should win. They have the more offensive talent, and they also have two bona fide scorers. And in playoffs, you need guys who can score. And OKC is not the hardest team to defend. They like to go inside. I watch them. They like to do a lot of 1-on-1s. They're not the best outside shooting team. So generally, it's Shea Gilgeous or bust, and you don't want a team that's a player or bust.
So, with that being said, let's dive into the East play-ins, and that is the Miami versus the ATL. And this one I'm not too sure on. Miami 6 games better, and in Atlanta is even at 41 apiece. But Atlanta plays like they're better than their record, but they just don't have enough because majority of their firepower is like backcourt and then the front court, which is Clint Capella, John Collins, DeJounte Murray, and Trey Young. That's it. And and Bogdanovich, but that's about it. And then Miami has around the same amount of people. So which is why this is the even matchup for me. But if I was really gonna pick, I pick Atlanta. I pick Atlanta to take it.
Okay. So I'm looking at the last game they played each other, which is March 6th, a 130-128 loss by the Hawks. And if you look at both teams, Jimmy Butler had 26 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Bam Adebayo, I'm looking at like who are these guys going to mostly play? Now Victor Oladipo had 32 minutes, so he's obviously going to play. The problem with the Heat is, look, they probably can score on the Hawks because the Hawks are a atrocious off defensive team. They're just bad. I mean, that game, the Heat were 53% from the field, 55% from three, and 86% from the free throw. Now, the Heat did not play any defense that day as well because the Hawks shot over 55%. And, now they didn't make the threes, and they did not make their free throws that game. So, a lot of things play into what. But I think that the Hawks do have the better offensive team because really it's Murray and Young. Like those guys are gonna have the most of the usage. Capella and Collins are lob guys. Collins is the only other guy who can maybe get his own shot. Sadiq Bey was a really nice pickup, I thought, because he was good in Detroit. He comes over here, he gets a start, major minutes. Bogdanovich actually was only 24 minutes that game. So I don't know if Bogdanovich is going to be very, very much used against the Hawks. But with the shortened rotations, he may get up to 30. But looks to me like they trust Capella, Murray, Young, Bay, and Hunter. John Collins only played 20 minutes as well. So, those guys look like they may be the odd man out in terms of getting major minutes. But the thing about the Heat is, do we think they can score enough points? That's been the number one thing with the Heat.
I don't think they can. I don't think so.
Right? Because is Tyler Hero going to be going off? Is Victor Oladipo going to be going off? Jimmy Butler's going to be on. Like Jimmy Butler needs two other guys. Like this, the Heat need Butler and the combination of Oladipo, Hero, and Bam, because number I guess Kyle Lowry's either hurt or he's so trash they just put him on the bench. I don't even know. Let me see. But right now for me, I would obviously pick the I would pick the Hawks because I don't think playoff is going to matter much. I think that they're just too offensively gifted, and so we will see. But I trust Trey Young to get whatever he wants against whoever he's guarded because
And,
also like
and he
Miami's
and he can also rack up the points very quickly because we all know
yeah,
he is a very good shooter.
and a very good foul drawer. He can draw a lot of fouls,
Oh yeah.
and
He can
let's be
also draw the
let's be
fouls very
honest.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, like Miami has Bam and Jimmy Butler who are good. How many pick and rolls is Bam going to be involved in? Like how's Trey going to hunt? Because we know basketball is all about hunting matchups and trying to get the best matchup. And Miami is one of the few teams where you don't want to put the center on the guard because the center can actually stay with the guard. And Bam Adebayo, who I dub the modern day quintessential big man, which he's almost that. The only other guy who's more than him is Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid isn't as fast as Bam. Like if Bam could shoot a three and a jumper, I'm not saying he has to score like 30 points or anything. I'm just saying if he could have like the jumper and the three, he would be like my perfect big man for any team because he could move his feet, defend, shoot the three, shoot the mid range, and can make free throws. And is kind of like Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson is that too, but he fouls way too damn much, right?
Oh,
Like,
he pisses me off with the amount of fouling he does. Like,
yeah, I
Jesus.
think he averages like 5.5 fouls per 36 minutes. So he just fouls a whole lot. And so he would be him and Bede and Adebayo are the three perfect examples of the modern day big man. Carthy Towns doesn't count. He plays no defense. Rudy Gobert is trash. Um, Anthony Davis is not a big man. He's a four, and also he he's just weird. But all in all, I'm picking Atlanta to win. I think they're gonna win in a close game because I don't think Miami can stop their offense. They cannot stop the Trae Young pick and roll, the side picks, the
Because
pin
you have
down
to worry about a three or a lob. And which one are you
three or
going
a
to
lot.
give them?
Yeah, like they're a perimeter based team, and with Dejounte Murray defensively, they're helping out, made them a better defensive team. Clint Capella is a very athletic big, obviously, as we know with the days with James Harden. I just think they're going to be too athletic for a Miami team who doesn't have a lot of athleticism, doesn't have a lot of big guys who can jump. And it's going to require Jim Butler to give you 30, 35 points, I think, to make it a somewhat competitive game. Or Miami's defense is able to keep the game close. But I do always say at the end of games, who do I trust more? Look, Jimmy Butler has proven himself a whole lot the last like 5, 6 years. Ever since he left Chicago to go to Philadelphia, he's been known as Mr. Clutch Band. We know 2020 NBA Finals. He won 2 games by himself, people. The only other man I've ever seen do that other than LeBron James was 2020 Jimmy Butler. He had 2 games, and we all know what happened. He was so tired the last game he couldn't do anything. And it happens, right? Not everybody's LeBron who can keep doing it game after game. But I'm taking Trey Young because Trey Young is a point guard. He can get you and foul you at any point, and he's got a quick release, and he's always got the lob on this ready. So I'm taking Atlanta. I think they're the better team. Miami has less talent. They have like 9 undrafted players, which is an issue. Most of their draft picks either are not good or they don't use them. So that's another thing. And they need more things to win than Atlanta. Atlanta can win a shootout. Atlanta can win a close game. And look, and I think Atlanta's worst shooting night is average is better than even what Miami can do because Miami needs Jimmy Butler to create everything, and Atlanta has 2 guys. So yeah, that's it. I think Atlanta wins.
So let's see, Toronto and Chicago.
Okay.
I got to pick Chicago. They got their big three, and even though Toronto has some decent guys, nothing's not even that's enough to stop Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan, and then they got Vucevic in the three position. So you have an established trio, and then you have Toronto who has Fred Van Vliet and then who's it, Pascal Siakam and a couple other guys. They would have to be on a pretty off night for Toronto to have a chance.
Okay. So you're picking Toronto? I'm sorry, picking Chicago.
Oh yeah, I'm picking Chicago. Yeah.
Okay. Like, so Chicago's a better team. They're a better offensive team. Toronto's a very defensive team. Toronto is more athletic.
And that's where they're gonna get saved. This is the defensive end.
Yeah, they're more athletic. Offensively, like Fred Van Fleet and Pascal Siakam to a lesser extent can create. Scotty Barnes is a good player. I'm not sure if he's your third best player, you can win. It's really going to come down to who obviously is on that night, because I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. They both have made some really glaring issues. Chicago very not athletic outside of Zach Levine. Toronto, I think they have one ball handler who can really create, and he's 6 foot, so that he's not the best. And Pascal Siakam is a very good basketball player, but his shooting is not great, and he requires an inside, to be more in the post and get tough shots. He doesn't make it easy, compared to other teams. Their sets aren't the best things I've seen when I've watched them play. Their sets don't really get many open shots, but per se, I don't watch a lot of this stuff. I probably have to watch more video on, their what they run. But Toronto's is a 500 team. I mean, the record is the record. They have taken 2 undrafted guys basically, and Siakam. Well, I don't know if Siakam's undrafted. I know Fred VanVleet is undrafted, but basically 2 French guys, and they became all star. Well, no, Pascal Siakam became all star. Fred VanVleet's been a good player. Fred VanVleet's. They've got Gary Trent Jr., who is a underrated player as well, who's a free agent next year. Their coach is looking to leave at the end of the season because I think
he got drafted.
Oh, who? Pascal?
Yeah, he got drafted in
Yeah, okay.
2016.
Okay, yeah. They got Nick Nurse, who's looking to leave because I guess he's kind of ran the table with the team, and I like it when people leave, and he's been a great coach. But I think they're going to lose to Chicago. I think they got DeMar DeRozan, and who, when he gets those spots, is unguardable. Just pulls up no matter what. I don't think they have any defender who can really bother him. I think Zach Levine's going to eat the pick and roll and jumpers and fadeaways and get to the basket. They have nobody who should be able to really deal with Vucevic because they have no real giant like Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl is good, but I don't think he can handle Vucevic with how big he is. So we'll see about that. But I'm with you. I think
Vucevic, he's that guy. He's that low key guy.
Yeah,
he's that guy that I've seen over the last couple of years. I'm like, okay, I've seen his stats. I'm like, yeah, he's that guy.
They have no big who can deal with him. So that's the X factor, is how much can he punish their small, because Toronto likes to play small. Like, they don't like to play Poeltl a lot. They like to play like Chris Boucher, or they even play probably even Siakam or whatever. Siakam, Barnes, Gary Trent, Fred VanVleet, and like some other small kind of guys. So, they can be a small team. And if you can punish that, force them out of what they want to run, they'll have a great chance to win. I think Chicago's going to win, and they're going to now. Since we said Chicago and Atlanta win, what about Chicago versus Miami to see who plays Milwaukee? Who do you think wins in our hypothetical Miami versus Chicago game?
I'll still say Chicago.
I would say Chicago as well. They've got two guys. Sometimes basketball simple. The only thing is Miami's defense is really good, and I'm sure they can make it a really tough sell for DeRozan. Like they're really apt to defend them, but I do think Chicago pulls out in the end. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
that's,
And also on the Western side, um, I think I picked New Orleans versus Minnesota, and I'm gonna give it to
yeah, that's a no brainer.
the Pelicans this time. I think the Pelicans should have won today, but they dropped to 12-point lead. So I'm going to pick New Orleans to face Denver in the first round of the playoffs.
Hmm. So
And Memphis.
you said who about Denver?
Well, I think that I'm picking Denver to play New Orleans in this play-in, and obviously Memphis to play the Lakers, and then I'm picking Milwaukee versus Chicago and Boston versus Atlanta.
Yeah, the East. The same as the East and the. I'm still going on mine for the West. Put OKC in for Denver and Lakers for Memphis.
So you're saying OKC is going to beat Minnesota in this hypothetical win or go home game?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the other two series in the West. Until we also want to talk about these other two, the 1 and 2 series of both conferences because they have the same.
Let's see. Let's see a good breakdown. I expect Golden State to slap Sacramento. I
Oh well.
expect I expect Phoenix to have to not. It's not going to be easy for Phoenix, but I expect them to win. Cleveland and New York. Yeah, I'm going with Cleveland on this one. Even though New York has the better team, in my opinion, it's just that when Julius Randle gets cold, he is cold as ice. And Cleveland has like consistency of people that can score, and that's what you need in the playoffs. Is consistent scores. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland, and I expect Philadelphia to beat the brakes off of Brooklyn.
Okay. Um, I would
Just real
say,
plain and simple.
yeah. Look. I think Phoenix is a better team than the Clippers, and without Paul George, the defense of Clippers, and the offense, I just don't. It's not going to match Phoenix. The Phoenix just has too many guys who can score, and they have one guy who, whoever Kyler guards, the other guy's going to go off because this. I want if you watch Phoenix, what they run, it gets some easy shots, a lot of mid ranges. They should win that series in six. Golden State, this could be a 7-game series because Golden State's off defensively is in a lot of trouble, and also they turn the ball over way too much. The
Oh
reason
yeah,
why I
they
think
have a major turnover problem. They
they've had
like
a
to
major
throw the
turnover
ball
problem.
away.
They've done that for 8 years. Like we all should be pretty surprised that they've won. They've won to like 6 finals and won four. With the amount of turnovers they do every game. I mean, no matter what. But when you have the nuclear shooting powers that team possesses, it just does not matter sometimes. Sacramento, I would say they would win the series, but their defense is so atrocious. I mean, it's historically bad. So I don't really know how the postseason is going to help them outside of they'll be allowed to be more physical. But I do think Golden State wins in seven. Cleveland, New York is very, very close. It is going to be between the backcourt, and between Brunson and Randall. Whoever of those four guys goes off throughout this series, they will win. I'm picking Cleveland because I trust backcourts to go off more in today's playoff basketball than Randall. Watch Randall, a lot his moves, how he scores. It's not the most efficient way to score. He makes it work. I just don't think in the playoffs that's going to work against like Evan Mobley or even Jared Allen. Like, I don't think so. I think you're going to need Manuel quickly to help you out. But okay, but I could put Cleveland in 6. Philly, Brooklyn. This series should be over in 5 or even a sweep.
I say 4. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I'd give Brooklyn 1 game because I can see Philadelphia messing, like screwing around and losing the game here or
Like,
there.
Cam Thomas ain't gonna be enough to win.
Nah, it's gonna be. I think Mikal Bridges is their guy. I mean, Cam Thomas scored 46 points today because there was nobody else, so he's able to just have the green light to shoot the ball as much as possible. So he probably wouldn't even be in the rotation. I mean, you've got Finney Smith, you've got Dinwiddie, you got Bridges, you got Harris, you got Claxton, and whoever the other 3 guys they'll bring on. I just think Philadelphia's just too dominant. They have too many guys for Brooklyn to handle defensively. You got Embiid. You have the double team with Harden. You can't leave by himself open with also Tobias Harris who can go in the post. Like they've got Tyrone Maxey, who's one of the fast players in the league, can get to the rim at any point in time. They just have too many guys. So I'm picking the 5 games. Give respect to Brooklyn because you just have to. They're able to stay in the playoffs even after losing 2 of the top 20 players that he has to offer. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do get swept.
Who gets swept?
I wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn gets swept.
Oh no, I'm banking on them getting the sweep. I'm banking on the Bruins coming out game 4.
Well, I'm just saying. Last time Brooklyn and Philadelphia faced each other, Brooklyn won 1 game, so I can see them winning 1 game with this team they have here.
The most I give them is 1 game, but I expect them to get the Bruins in. I expect the Bruins out for them.
Yeah. I mean, Philadelphia is low key. When them and Boston are more talented than Milwaukee because they have more guys who can score the ball. That always helps. Milwaukee is just that they have been together for so long with Giannis. Drew Holiday has taken a step up, another evolution this year. And if Chris Middleton can come and be somewhat effective, they could still be the favorite. But yeah, that I'm picking Philadelphia to make the conference finals, get over the hump, and get there. So, and obviously, that's what we're picking. That's what I'm picking right now.
So let's talk about it real quick. Who do you think is going to be Roman's next challenger, or is it going to be Cody Rhodes again?
Well, number one, I read that Roman Reigns won't be at Backlash. He's going to be doing.
They just saving him, bro. They just saving him. He can't. They don't even want to fight for it. They just want to save him.
Yeah, because they're trying to get to 1,000 days. Did you read the comment about Kurt Angle basically saying they should really just move on with Roman Reigns and make Cody a bigger star? He said it was because of there's no more territories, so you really shouldn't have these 6 to 8 year guys all that time, which I understand.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But personally, I don't know who can be. I just don't know. They say Drew McIntyre and other guys. I just don't know.
They don't even know if he's gonna sign. That's the thing.
His contract runs out at the end of the year, so they may not really worry about that until later. But who really could challenge him at what's the pay per view after Backlash? What's that?
That's actually a good question.
They may not even have it. I mean, they should have them pretty soon. Oh yeah, King and Queen of the Ring. Yeah, that's true. The one, that one. So he probably won't do that one. So that makes sense. He probably won't be at that one because that's going to be its own thing. So yeah, he's gonna. So I guess next one is going to be. So let me see. I'm trying to figure out. So they have NXT Battleground. So what? Money in the Bank? Maybe Money in the Bank in July. Maybe that one.
July. What?
I'm just saying because I'm looking at the chronological events, and obviously the next one is NXT after King and Queen of the Ring. So obviously,
after Money in the Bank is SummerSlam.
So, do we think he holds on to until August? Literally does nothing. Like August, does he get to over like 1,200 plus days, literally doing nothing?
at that point that literally shouldn't even. I mean,
Like
well, yeah.
that?
I mean, I'll say that because if you want to lose, have him lose at a big stage.
Yeah, I mean, there's only four. You only that'll be the first one. So that probably will be their plan. He may wrestle on Money in the Bank and then loses at SummerSlam to maybe Cody Rhodes. Maybe. So yes, I don't even know if this is really a question we can answer because we believe, and a lot of people believe, Cody Rhodes is going to be his next opponent. It's just going to be in like 2-3 months. I'm sorry, no, in like 3 or 4 months down the road. It won't even be anywhere near soon. It's going to be a long way the way. And this is why I think that him losing and breaking up the titles should be necessary. I just don't like it that we're gonna have to be sold on like non-world title things for a while. Like you're gonna have to be sold on like Gunther and Austin Theory and maybe the Bloodline continuing and Sami Zayn, like and those, like that's what we're gonna have to be sold on. We won't be like Roman won't be involved because they just want to save him up. Like his reign is not impressive. Like he needs to wrestle sometimes, not like sit there and like get a free reign and be like, I'm champion for 1,300 days. Like even if you haven't even wrestled like 5 months, okay, like can he at least wrestle on SmackDown a couple times? Like I don't know. Like who do you think is going to be next opponent? Because it's going to be Cody Rhodes. It just will be in 4 months.
Hmm. I don't even know because everybody's like occupied. So
Everybody's got something they're doing. Sheamus, Sheamus did not is got like Brawling Brutes and that whatever they're doing with Gunther. So I just don't know. I just don't know, man.
I don't know either. That's just a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do because it's hard, man. It's just hard for me to see for WWE to get any better. Like this is exactly fucking why we all want him to lose because Cody Rhodes is prepared to start doing all the wrestling and doing all that shit. Roman Reigns has gotten that deal where he doesn't have to. He doesn't. He's not all there, guys. He's not all there. Like he's not.
Like he doesn't
Just
need to
saying.
be there. And he's at the point where like I'm at that point where I'm at that Cena level now. I don't have to show up as much like I
Yeah.
used to.
Yeah. I mean, like there's nothing, man. It's whatever. But hey, I ain't complaining. I'm sure as long as Vince McMahon keeps his fucking hands out of wrestling, and I won't blame him for like the Brock Lesnar thing because that seems to have been planned no matter what, which I still think is weird. But can we stop with the whole like awesome main event doesn't happen thing? I remember that was happening for a while, and I hated it. But like, can we get a fucking nice match? Like Roman Reigns can lose this bloodline match. It's not him getting, or if you don't want him to get pinned and Solo Sikoa to get pinned, fine. But like, can we at least have the match? That'd been cool. But now I gotta deal with this stupid ass rivalry where Brock Lesnar said it's because he had to go out first, which is why he beat up Cody Rhodes. Like, wasn't didn't he not want to go out like first for some other WrestleMania a couple years ago?
Who
I
was
think
that?
I forgot. Somebody put out the that Brock Lesnar not wanting to
Oh, that was WrestleMania 35.
yeah, that he didn't want to go out first, I think, or last or whatever.
No,
Do
he
you
didn't
know
want to
that?
go first.
He didn't want to go first, right? And so
Yeah.
now he's mad about this one because he did go first, I think. So whatever that means. And I'm like, okay, that's an interesting way to start a feud.
Yeah, but
And
then
every
he also understands that this is he also understands that this is he has no control. He doesn't have that much control over it. So don't know why he's pissed off, but
yeah, I'm trying to read. I am trying to read into what they're trying to push for this feud. That, let's be honest, makes no sense. Mm. Yeah, like I said, and Omos. And one more thing on Omos, I honestly don't know what they're doing with him because all he does is like beat up on somebody and then loses. I'm just saying, that's stupid. Hmm. So they said that WWE has planned the Lesnar Rhodes feud for a while, long before Vince McMahon got involved in the creative process. In addition, Lesnar knew about his creative plans for after WrestleMania nearly a month ahead of time. Hmm. Okay, that's
hmm.
weird. Yes, please. What's Triple H's plans to split the fucking titles? Please, I need him to split the titles.
That needs to happen
He does. He does.
because this is because having the same title with different colors, like, come on, bro, you can do better than that.
Yeah. Why do so by SummerSlam there's going to be two titles. So by August we should have two titles. And also I hope they remove the fucking blue one. That's all I know. Oh, okay. So he wanted to. So okay, if The Rock would have signed and get ready enough, he would have ended the. He would have ended to do it before WrestleMania, which is interesting. Interesting, anyways. But yeah, I'm just ready for it to happen so I can have big gold. That's the one I want back. The big gold. I don't give a shit about the red one or whatever blue one. All those fuckers are ugly. Red, blue, they're all fucking disgusting. Like who really likes those belts?
So
Go look in the stands. People wear big gold, baby. Big gold.
yeah,
That's
people
what they
were
do.
the big Goldie, the literal
Yeah,
Goldie before Goldie was a thing again.
yeah. That's when they wear. Nobody gives a shit about these red and blue belts. The women can have that shit. The niggas need to have a real belt, real one. You can bring back black with the whatever you have now, and then bring the world title. Or if Cody wins, you can bring the winged eagle, whatever. Anything to get away from these belts. These belts have been here way too long. I know we're never going back. Obviously, but anything's better. Like Intercontinental Championship is okay. United States Championship is okay. It's just those two belts need to be better.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they can do way better than that
Yeah.
BS.
So what do you want to talk about? Kick. I saw that Kick was one
Oh
of
yeah, it's
our.
that that stream. I think you brought it up about like something like Kick and Twitch, like the
Oh
comparisons.
yes. So Kick has a 95-5 split, which basically means the streamer gets 95% in stake, and Kick, I'm sorry, which is owned by stake, gets 5. Now they can only do that because number one, the reason is really because they're being propped up by a multi-billion-dollar stake a gambling company that makes money no matter what. So they can do the 95 to 5%. Do I think Twitch can do 95 to 5%? Now, probably they couldn't. I mean, they could probably do something more better. But the reason I brought this up to us to talk about was that a couple of people put up their money they've made from both Twitch and Kick and have said that, hey, Kick allows me to make more money with less subscribers. The guy had like $38,000 in a one-time payment to his bank account with only like 8,000 on Kick compared to like 16K on Twitch. And my question is, or do I think, or do we think, obviously, Kick can be sustainable, even though they're being propped up by a multi-billion-dollar gambling company? is it still sustainable? Because no matter the person or the business, you still want a return. And so, do we do? Now, do I think it's sustainable? Probably not. I just don't believe you can do 95 to 5 and do it well. Okay? Like, I'm talking about, do we see them 2, 3 years down the road? Because we saw what happened in Mixer. We saw what happened to, especially Mixer, when they took Ninja and Shroud and them dudes got the bag and, they left their people and then they came back. No problem. Kick, I think people should stream. Well, people are streaming on like Grandmaster Hikaru, one of the best players in the entire world, is streaming both Twitch and Kick, and I think people should do that. You should be able to stream both Twitch and Kick. Okay, I don't think people should limit themselves to fucking Twitch. Why? Like, you're not Pokimane. Okay, Pokimane can have that bull. If you have a couple K subscribers on Twitch, I'm sorry, on Kick, you're gonna make even more money you make on Twitch. You can still subscribe on Twitch. I don't know what you lose if you're a partnered person. I'm not sure what you lose. I
I
know
mean,
you
it's really
lose.
like contractual purposes also.
Yeah, like why? Like Moist Critical is gonna be streaming on probably on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook if you fucking can, on Twitter, on maybe Kick if he wants to. Like, why not? Open yourself up to all these different revenues of money. Some people may just want to be on YouTube and see a Moist Critical Twitch stream. I mean, he makes a bunch of videos there. It's easy. You have the live thing. He comes live. You watch. You subscribe. You give him money and donations. It just allows him a lot. Like, I don't think people. I think people should stop doing contracts because it just limits you. Like, yes, Twitch is big and Twitch can all that, but why limit yourself to Twitch? Why not go on YouTube? Why not go on Kick? Like, YouTube, especially Moist Critical, his videos get 1 million+ views. He's the only guy who I've seen who gets 1 million views on almost every video he gets, no matter what. The dude is not getting like 30, 40,000 Twitch streamers. He's making fucking money from YouTube. I know Twitch is paying him a bunch, obviously, but YouTube is making him a lot of money. Why do you think he said, I'm gonna after my contract ends, I'm gonna stream in different places? Because he knows he can turn his YouTube audience into a new audience, his streaming audience. So that's for me why I think you should have multiple. Because I don't think people should just be on Kick and hope Kick continues. I don't think Kick can continue in the way it's going, which is, no matter what, we're gonna be able to do it. No, they won't, not forever. I mean, eventually they're gonna have to find a way to monetize it in a much better way. But no, Kick will not survive a 95-5 split for good. No, it won't. And
That split is insane. Actually, the fact that they're actually doing that split is insane.
I mean, they can do that split because you know they can do that split because they're able to do it. I mean, Twitch is powered by Amazon, who doesn't want to do that. You know, and plus, yes, you get 95 cents off every dollar you earn on Kick. You do have less viewers, but like I said, if you're a decently big streamer on Twitch and you decide to put yourself on Kick and use it more, you're just gonna make more money. If you are 6K subs on Twitch and you have 6K subs on Kick, you make more money. Just saying, you just do. But I mean, like Krinikov, she's back there doing her fucking stupid ass gambling shit. That's so lame, and I don't know why people like to watch it. But shit, man, it is what it is.
Oh, here she go with this gambling stuff. I have all this money. I gamble it away.
I see her with like $50,000 there. I'm like, wow. Yeah, so this guy, Action Man, real name Aaron Travis, revealed he made 38,000 since arriving on Kick at the end of February. He streams games like Fortnite and poker, of course. Shared a screenshot of his Kick returns on Twitter. He claimed that he earned his 38,000 with about 7,000 followers or subscribers. by his estimation, it would take about 16,000 subs to earn the same amount on Twitch. At the same time, of this post, his K count is over 26. I get it, man. I get it. I get it. But like I said, you need. I just don't know how sustainable that is. It's early though.
Yeah. It's no issue, trying out a new streaming platform and seeing where it goes. And that's what a
Yeah.
lot of people are doing. A lot of people are going out there and trying Kick and seeing what the vibes are like. Haven't heard anything bad.
No, I haven't heard nothing bad.
It's like somewhat of a replica of Twitch, but Twitch is being like more of a conservative, and even their crazy asses are wanting a split for some odd reason. But I don't know why they won't ask for a split. But Twitch is being as money hungry as they are.
Them dudes, man. You got Amazon with their trillions of dollars, and they're like, no, we can't do 50-50 split. 50-50 split. You think that's good? Jesus Christ. 50-50 split. You can't go 70-30? 70-30? Damn. 50-50? Yeah, right. Yeah, right, man. People gonna stop doing 50-50 split. It sounds horrible as a streamer. Like, wow. No.
They ain't getting 50. No, there ain't no way. We just started and you trying to get 50? No.
Trying to take 50? Like, nah, man.
You are bugging.
Look, man, that boy said I made 38,000 from Kick with barely because of their Twitch. Look, Twitch doesn't have to do anything because Kick isn't big enough. But if Kick gets any part of revenue, any part of the pie of streaming that gets decent enough, oh yeah, Twitch will start changing. They'll be like, oh yeah, guys, we're going to 70-30, making more. Like that's what people don't want no 50-50. Jesus, and they trying to sell people like that's good. Whatever, man. Yeah, man, we done, man. We ain't got nothing else to say about this.
With that being said, this has been another episode of the APF podcast, episode 171. It is I, the most phenomenal man that shocked the system, aka the coach, signing out.
It's your boy going forward. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We're continuing to do these every week. We're back again for another edition of the playoff podcast, right? We're gonna be reviewing all these playoff games, gonna be watching all these playoff games. So we give you guys the best possible reviews and insight to the game of what these guys are playing and how they're playing. So yeah, man, we ready. But that's it for me.
And we out of here. Ah!
Later.